Well, greetings. Thank you so much for joining us on UCTV. My name is Nora Sende. Today we're going to discuss about insurance. You and I do need insurance one way or the other, but sometimes we may not exactly get to know the nitty-gritties or the information that we need in order to secure ourselves insurance policy. In studio today, I am very lucky to have with me Statewide Insurance Company, and I have Mr. Jagwe Ronald Muyingo, who is in charge of marketing and distribution at the Statewide Insurance Company. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Jagwe.
Thank you, Madam Nora.
Well, you're welcome. You could tell us a little more about yourself and tell us about Statewide Insurance Company.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Nora, and happy to be here. And I send greetings to everyone watching. My name is Jagwe Ronald Muyingo, and I head marketing, sales, and distribution at Statewide Insurance Company, basically known as SWICO. Yeah, SWICO, I send greetings to each and every one of the viewers with us from Statewide Insurance Company, that is directors, management, and staff. Statewide Insurance Company as SWICO, we've been in existence for almost 40 plus years, because the company was incorporated in 1982. So we've been serving we've been in service for almost 40 years plus. So we've been in existence. The company has never been closed. So we've been around for almost all those years. And it is the leading, when I say leading, indigenous Ugandan insurance company. This is a company that is purely owned by Ugandans, as we all know, and very many people knew Statewide as one that belonged to the late Savannah Chizito, but it's a company that was basically started by the late, together with these other colleagues, the likes of Joseph Chwanka and many others. So we've basically been around for 42 plus years. We are basically a general insurance company. When I say general, I mean we do not offer life. Many people have been having issues in regards to that. So when we say general, we basically offer general insurance covers, covers like fire, motor comprehensive, group personal accident, workmen's compensation, and the like. So we don't cover life covers, that is medical and life, as well as agriculture. But for agriculture, I can promise that we are into line for that, because that is what basically is the thing currently, since we are an agriculture country. So we are trying to enter into it, but we are currently offering general insurance covers.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite an interesting introduction there. I like the fact that the company has actually stood the test of time for years, and I can attest that actually the more years that you have stayed, the more experience, the more authenticity, the more genuine products you have and policies. And that is something. I just want to know, how different is your insurance company from other insurance providers in Uganda?
Yeah, thank you very much. And like I've told you, we are general insurance cover, so we offer a lot on the plate for people to choose. However, the main difference that we have with other covers is, one, this is a Ugandan company, purely Ugandan, owned by indigenous Ugandans. There are others that we basically have online, but of course those are foreign based. So we want to confirm that this is a pure Ugandan company, where we call people to support, and they should support their own under what we call BUBU, so Buy Uganda, Build Uganda. That is one niche that we basically try to push out for. Secondly, the fact that we have survived for 40 years plus is an indicator that we have really been offering a good service. And when we say good service, we mean things like claim payment, because in insurance, it is all about payment of claims. If you can really pay your claims well, then you'll have the people to serve. So we are doing the best that we can to make sure that people's claims are paid and on time. Yeah, that is what is basically different. And then the other is to make sure that we understand the clients that we really serve. Yeah, because at SWICO, as long as you enter into us, you very much know that, yes, I'm at home. You feel at home, and you know whom to contact, because it's our own, it's owned by everyone. So that is the difference we have with others. And of course, on top of that, we are the #1 insurance company with so many branch network. I can ably tell you that we currently have 21 branches in all regions of the country. We have offices in those regions. We have in the north, we have in the south, we have in the central, and of course in the western. So when I say western, I mean we have an office in Kabale, we have in Ishaka, we have in Mbarara, we have in Masaka, that is entirely the western region. Then when we go to the north, we have offices in Arua, we have in Gulu, we have in Lira, we have in Soroti. Then in the eastern, we have in Uganda, we have in Mkono, we have in Tororo, and of course in the central here, Kampala, where we have so many, Mitiana and Mbende. So basically, that is already a niche, and it's an indication that we are somehow different, because we try as much as possible to bring the service nearer to the public.
I like the fact that you're spread out throughout the country.
Sure.
Really, just kind of take us through the main types of insurance policies that you offer. We do know that basically your customer base is for the Ugandan population. Is there any specific customers that you guys target?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mara. Like I said, we are basically a general insurance company, and what we offer are the general insurance covers. However, we are not specific on which particular population we serve. We serve each and everyone. We even serve foreigners, because among the covers that we have travel insurance. This is basically international. For whoever wants to travel, must be able to purchase or get an insurance cover as you are traveling outside. So this is offered to each and everyone. We also have marine. We shall discuss that as we move on. This is covered or given to everyone, as long as you are into that business of importing goods and the like, as well as exporting. You will inquire to have such covers. So we basically have policies that really covers each and every person, for as long as you have what we call an insurable interest, or something that calls for insurance. So some of the companies that we are really offering are owned by foreigners, and of course we don't say that we only offer these covers to Ugandan, but of course we put much emphasis also to Ugandans down at the ground, especially the business, those that are within the SMEs, because we know that they face a lot of issues when it comes to such kinds of accidents. We've had scenarios where they have lost a lot of their goods and things like that. I'll give you a good example of one of the biggest claims that we've paid, or that has been paid in the Ugandan history. That is last year. If you remember, there is a discotheque owned by Ugandan, that is Ambias Discotheque in Masaka. It was entirely covered by a statewide insurance company, and I can ably tell you that we are able to compensate to a tune of about 1.6 billion. 1.6 billion at once, when the fire caught the Masaka discotheque for that client, Joseph Chiimba. So we basically we are everywhere, so we can cover everything that is really insurable, and the services for each and every person.
I like the example that you've given about the insurance cover that was the policy that was for the discotheque, and then like it came in handy at a time that they really needed it.
Sure.
It's at times so many people out there may not exactly understand the importance of insurance or appreciate it.
Okay.
Just kindly take us through how insurance can be important to not just businesses but also individuals.
Yeah, thank you very much. One, the first thing that really helps when someone takes up as an insurance cover is you're at peace, because you know at any one time, as long as I have my insurance cover, if anything happens, there's that peace of mind that the insurance cover gives you. We also have those covers that are basically compulsory. We have a motor comprehensive, and then a motor third party. Motor third party is basically compulsory, and then we also have motor comprehensive for the motor vehicle. This is not compulsory, but it's mandatory for one to make sure that you have your vehicle covered. So when you have an insurance cover for yourself, so you have a peace of mind for whatever you basically do. And in one way or the other, it's one area that has really employed a lot, and I'm an employee of a statewide insurance company. So this cover really brings takes up employees who are paying taxes to the government. So it is really trying to employ as well as paying taxes to the government. And to the public out there, the calling is basically one to make sure that at least you are safeguard. You are sure that as long as I have an accident in one way or the other, I'm safeguard, or you have your life at peace, because you'll be brought back to the original position where you are. And basically to try to create that peace of mind. The others are basically for educative purposes and the like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are some of the factors that someone could put in consideration before securing an insurance policy for themselves or for their business need?
Okay. The first factor that one should have into consideration is, one, you must have what we call an insurable item, that if you are to take up insurance, there must be an interest in insurance, something that is there to be insured. Say, for example, if one is interested in business, you must have, insurance for business, you must have a running business that you will need a cover for it. If you are to have a comprehensive cover, you must have a vehicle that should be able you should be able to take into consideration. If say, for example, you have a factory that you are running, you'll be interested in a fire policy. So there must be something that calls for insurance, first of all, and then secondly, you must be able to have to pay premium, because what takes one to be covered is when you pay insurance premium. To others, that will be the price that normally they're paid for and to have an insurance cover. So the insurable interest should first of all be there. You should be able to have a premium, because we calculate a premium by a percentage. We are regulated by the Insurance Regulatory Authority, which we call IRA, and the guide, as the regulator, they normally give us rates which we use to compute premium. So the premiums must be there, the insurable interest must be there, and of course one should really have that what we call utmost good faith as you go into the insurance covers for coverage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's now go into the motor insurance,
Yeah.
which is one of the most common insurance policies, right?
Yeah.
And I believe there's so many people or someone out there who really wants you to actually talk a little more about the motor insurance. What types of motor insurance policies are available, and how can one choose the right one?
Thank you very much, Nora. And like I said, motor insurance is one of the general covers that we have, and there are basically two that we purely the public will love to understand that they normally ask us, including police. The first one is the motor third party. This is a compulsory one. If Nora has a vehicle, you're a first party in this case, and then if Nora goes to statewide to get an insurance cover, say for third party, the insurance company becomes the second party, and then anyone outside this contract, in this case we mean the pedestrians. If it's a commercial vehicle, we mean the people that are being carried into the vehicle. Those ones are called third parties, and that is the reason as why it's called a third party insurance. So you get a sticker from SWICO. You and SWICO are first and second parties. So the other third parties are the public and the pedestrians. So in case of an accident, if it happens and the vehicle is involved in an accident, the third parties are the people, the pedestrians, or the customers that we are carrying. So if it's involved in an accident, those are the ones that are supposed to be compensated. So this I want to emphasize, especially for the taxi drivers or the people that are driving buses, that in case you are involved in an accident and you have a sticker, that's why the government emphasizes that every vehicle that comes on the Uganda road, as soon as it enters, it must have a third-party insurance, because the government is trying to protect the public. So when when a vehicle is involved in an accident, when a motorcycle is involved in an accident, and there are third parties that I've really explained, those ones can really get compensated from the insurance company where you got your comprehensive from. For as long as those people are basically not part of your family. Third parties are not part of your family, so it is basically the clients, the people, the public on the road, or the ones that you are carrying in the vehicle if it's a commercial car. So how different is it from the comprehensive? So for a third party, it's compulsory, but comprehensive is not really compulsory. So when you get a comprehensive, here you are basically focusing not on third parties alone, you are basically focusing on your vehicle, because remember in the third party I didn't mention about your vehicle. So when you get a comprehensive cover, you are basically looking at covering your vehicle against what? Against what we call theft, against what we call fire, accidental damage, windscreen damage that really happens to your vehicle. So anything that happens to your vehicle, your brand new vehicle that you are driving, is comprehensively covered under what we call a motor comprehensive. So it can be a private vehicle, it can be a commercial vehicle, but if it happens to be in an accident, the fires that we had of the fuel tank that we had some time back in Uganda, if that vehicle was purely covered comprehensively, the owner will be assured that they are going to refund that vehicle 85%, of course, after taking off excesses and deductibles. So the comprehensive bit is really looking at the vehicle. Yeah, so why people should really understand it more is we've had scenarios where people say insurance companies don't pay. Why? Because you have a third-party stake. You are involved in an accident and you want to come and claim for insurance against your vehicle. You don't have a comprehensive. So if you don't have a comprehensive, it means that your vehicle is not covered. It's only the third party. So if, God forbid, your vehicle was involved in an accident and there are third parties that are covered or that are really gotten an accident or damages within, we shall basically look at the third parties and we compensate them under the third party act or the third party insurance. But your vehicle not covered because you didn't get a comprehensive. So that is why it is mandatory. It is key, especially those that are driving those Porsche cars or those new cars that you have. As long as you attach a value, you cannot really have your vehicle 10, 15 million plus on the road and you don't have a coverage, because we know the nature of our roads, we know the way people drive. So it is always a call on everyone to make sure that you get the comprehensive cover. So basically, those are the two main covers that we have under motor and then and the right, and that is what I will call a mandatory cover that everyone should really try to have as long as you have a motor vehicle or a motorcycle that is on the road.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm glad you also added in the motorcycle bit.
Yeah, it is also it is also covered. It also gets a third party as well as a comprehensive for it. Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah.
So tell me about the calculation of the premium.
Yeah.
Is it normally done based on the usage of the car or the location? Just explain a little bit.
Yeah, the coverage depends on the value, what we call a sum insured.
Yeah.
If you have your vehicle and it is valued at less than 100 million, you will not pay the same premium with someone who has a vehicle that is valued at 20 million. The higher the sum insured or the higher the value of the vehicle, the higher the premiums. Yeah, that's why if I'm driving, let me say my Benz, and it's valued at that much, I automatically pay that much. If someone is driving a Harrier or a Kuruga, those ladies' cars that we normally see, paying 25, the premium charge will depend on the value. So it's just a charge. It's a percentage charge of the sum insured, and it's determined according to the value of the vehicle. So normally private cars, we charge 4% of the value. So for example, if a vehicle is 100 million, 4% of 100 million is about 4 million. That is what you pay a year. We only add there what we call VAT, stamp duty and training levy. These are government taxes, and you are fully covered. It does not matter how many accidents you get in the course of the year. Even if it's a total accident, you will still remain covered as long as you've paid that. So that is 4 million plus a VAT for someone having, let's say, a vehicle of 100 million. And if someone has like 10 million or 4%, you find yourself paying just 400,000. Yeah, so the premium payable is non-standard. It depends on the sum insured or the value of your vehicle. Yeah, so if you're at that level, you'll pay premium of that level. If you're at a lower level, you'll pay. So we try as much as possible to accommodate, because we are fully regulated by the Insurance Regulatory Authority, which is IRA.
So you accommodate everyone?
We accommodate everyone, and anything that has value can really be insured in a vehicle.
That's nice. In case of an accident, how does the policyholder file a claim? And what is the most important detail for people not to leave out in case of filing a claim there?
Yeah, thank you, Honora. I think this is very key, and everyone should be able to take note of the same, because this is where we have basically had a lot of issues, especially when people don't know what is required. One, in case of any claim, the first thing that should be done is notification. You must first of all notify your insurer that have been involved in an accident. Notification should be done with immediate effect, not after like 2 2 weeks, 30 days or something should be made immediately to allow either the insurance company to come into play or to also come and be part of whatever, because at times when someone knocks a vehicle, you can find someone negotiating to pay higher compensation, which is not really, which might not be refunded. So you notify us and then we guide you. And after notification, what we basically do is, one, either we immediately take up an inspection, we come and do the inspection, if it is within the jurisdiction of our area, or if it's up country, we can send their people to come and do a hop. So when you notify us, it is very key. When you notify us, we are supposed to give you what we call a claim form. So this claim form is filled by the insured to basically pick the details of the vehicle insured, and to make sure that what has got an accident lies with what we really insured. And then we also require that in case of an accident, please make sure that you report to police. Yeah, because there's what we call a police report. If it's a serious accident, if it's a minor accident, knock-off and something like that, we can waive what we call a police report, because we know a police report involves a cost. But if you get this police report at a cost, at times it's 50,000, let's be assured that that money will be refunded. Why we call for a police report is to help us in areas or in circumstances where we cannot reach. It's that police report that will really guide us that really this accident happened. So the police report is very, very key. And then pictures are really taken for the vehicles. And then we request for 2 invoices of the repairs. Yeah, these invoices will be by different service providers who will come and have a look at the vehicle, and then can have comparisons, and of course out of the 2 shall pick out one, and we give you a go ahead to do a repair, and then we refund. Yeah, if it's just a windscreen that has broken, most of the times we just send you to our service providers, drive and maybe go to this service provider to have the windscreen replaced. If it's a minor one like side mirror, we can tell you, yeah, please bring it and replace it, or something like that. So basically, in summary, have a notification made, have a claim form filled, have an inspection report from the police given, get for us 2 invoices, and last but very key, make sure that you have a valid driving permit. For as long as you don't have a valid driving permit, that means that you are not allowed to be on the road. So the law does not allow us to compensate for someone that is not valid. Don't get your vehicle and give it to your kid. Yeah, some of us have our kids that we love most. I love my daughter so much, and I come up and say, please drive. They don't have driving permits and things like that. So if they are involved in an accident, let's be assured that that will not be compensated. So basically, those are the 5 items that we ask for, and the rest is okay. It's just a matter of calling, and then we can guide you. So I request that please, when you get an accident, be in touch with your agent, be in touch with your service provider, insurance company, call on them, say, Ronnie, I've been involved in an accident. We shall guide you on basically those 2. Yeah, so gone are the days where people used to say that, insurance companies ask for this and that. Why are you drunk? Are you driving at night? Those are real hearsay, so it's not what really, because we know an accident is an accident. And the reason as to why people insure, like I told you earlier, to have that comfort that in case of an accident, I'll be compensated.
Yeah, okay.
Basically.
Now let's dig a little more into the marine insurance.
Okay.
The government has really been pushing for this, but little information is known about what marine insurance is all about. Kindly give us an overview of what marine insurance is all about, and who does it serve typically?
Yeah, thank you very much, Nora. This cover of marine is unique. And a few days back, the government, together with the Insurance Regulatory Authority and then the Insurance Association, launched a portal. And this cover is basically for those that are involved into business, the business people, the traders, both exporters and importers. Way back, or before this came into play, all importers and traders were required to make sure that they have insurance covers that really looks into coverage for their goods that they bring into the country, or the goods that are on the water. Why we call it marine? When goods are on water, they are called marine. When they come to the road, they are called goods in transit. So when someone goes to get their goods, or they import their goods from China, Dubai, USA, wherever they are meant to pay for what we call an insurance coverage. And initially this coverage has been paid by our traders and importers within the countries where they buy their insurance, where they buy their goods. So it is basically covering the accident that will happen, the damages that will happen on the goods. Maybe if I'm importing my clothes, and on the way from China they are either being stolen on the water. We've heard of pirates on the sea. So you don't happen to get your goods. If they don't reach you, that means something has really happened. So that insurance cover is looking at covering those goods from where they are coming from until they reach Uganda, and it's compulsory that it must be covered. Yeah, the first class countries have had that before you receive your goods, they should be covered. So this has been initially paid. You pay, as you pay money for the goods, you also pay money for insurance to an insurance company that you don't even know. But what is going to happen right now, you are going to just go to the portal, look out for statewide insurance company, the URA portal, because it's going to be managed by URA, Uganda Revenue Authority, which is the government of Uganda. Look out for so many insurance, insurance covers, companies. You can choose out SWICO. So when you choose out SWICO from that portal, it would mean that the insurance premium that you are going to pay for your goods is going to be paid to SWICO. And in case of any accident, you are going to go to SWICO statewide, whereby you know that yes, I'm now paying insurance. If there is an accident, the insurance company where I'll get my compensation is within Uganda. So my goods are fully covered in case of anything. Because we know anything can happen to the goods. They can either say, we know people that normally import tiles. You've sent for containers, and half of the containers come when they are damaged. So any accident that happens to your goods before they reach you, or before the final destination, is what is covered under marine and goods in transit. So the two move hand in hand, because the moment these goods leave the waters or the seas as you are importing and they go onto the road, they now become goods in transit. So it's a cover that will cover the goods as they are transiting to the final destination. So that is the need of that cover.
Okay.
And now they are making it compulsory. Just as we have a motor third party, so the goods are going to be compulsory, that people must pay for it, to help the company also recoup some of our taxes from the same, other than having it sent outside the country.
Outside the country,
yes.
Makes so much sense. Are there different policies for the different types of vessels involved?
Currently they are there, but of course the main ones, we have marine hull, but this marine hull is basically for someone owning the boat. I have a boat, and very few people really can own a boat. So if you have a boat itself, that is what we call a marine hull. But what traders are basically interested in is not what is carrying their goods. They are basically interested in their goods per se. So it doesn't matter how they are being transported, which hull is carrying them, no. But if there are those that really have the physical boats themselves, we can give them a marine hull. But for the business people, we basically look at the goods that they are covering, and that is what we basically cover.
Just like you explained to us how to take up a claim, once there is a loss. Is it the same way it is done for the marine policy?
Basically, it is purely the same, because as these goods are being taken onto the cover, invoices are given to us of what is really being covered. And in case of a claim, of course, if a claim happens, we do what we call an assessment to determine if all the goods are being damaged. The ones that you give us on the invoices, if they have all been damaged. If they have not been damaged, we look at those that have really been damaged. So the invoices that are being, pro forma invoices that are being given to us, they must be given to us before the coverage, before the goods come, because we assume that you know what you are going to cover. So you give us the invoices because you are importing, so we know what we are covering. If a claim happens, first of all, you have to notify us that this and this has really happened. The assessment is done, the inspection is done. And of course, we give you the claim form, which claim form you will have to fill, clearly indicating what has really been damaged. And then from there, we can go ahead. If there is a need for an assessment, it can be done. If there is no assessment, we go by what has been filled in, and we refund, because the insurance is basically about bringing back someone to the original position he was. So we most of the time refund what has really been damaged.
Okay.
Person.
Is there anything else that you'd want someone out there to just know a little more about marine insurance, something that may be overlooked?
Yeah, well, the main key that I can really say about marine is for all business people that please take note that a waiver has been given, and you are currently having a grace period until 31st December. After 31st December, with effect from 1st January, all your goods must be comprehensively covered under what we call marine and goods in transit. So it's a call on you to be prepared, to have to be ready to make that budgeting for your goods. We know there are very many people that have really not been covering their goods. So it's a call that please, as you do their budgeting, you do your planning for your importation, please make sure that you also plan for goods in transit and the coverage of the same, such that you are not caught off guard. There shall not be any category of goods that will be cleared if they have not paid insurance for the same, as per the government. So they should basically be ready for the same, and yeah, life will move on. And for those that have been into it, yeah, you've not been knowing where to pay. This time around, it will be easy that you will know that yes, I'm covered and my goods are with statewide. Anything, we are just a call away. Yeah.
Very nice. Let's dig a little more into one of also the most common ones, which is the fire insurance or cover. What does it cover exactly, and what are some of the misconceptions about this fire coverage?
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. I already told you of a fire claim that really happened of ambience, but a fire cover, a fire insurance one, like it is basically covering one, your asset, your vehicle, or your goods against fire, omuliro in layman's language, that if that accident happened to any of the insured assets, you are compensated. So it is basically looking at fire that is accidentally caused by, it could be electricity, it could be something like that. So anything that is really caused by fire, or something that causes fire to happen and burns your insured item, is what we have under fire. However, it goes an extra mile to also include other special perils that we basically do. Initially, it was basically fire, but we added later they added their other special perils, things like floods. Yeah, if you have a fire coverage, we shall give you an extension of floods. Yeah, some few days back we saw the rains that we had in Kampala and other parts of the country, and we saw floods really happening, and so many of people's factories were flooded. So if you had taken up an insurance cover, it would still have an extension of floods. So whatever is damaged under floods are basically too much water, too much rain, and water is too much, and it damages. It could be damaging the building, it could have damaged your goods or something like that. You'll still be covered. We also have an extension or a period that we call earthquake. We rarely have earthquakes in Uganda, but we've had them in some parts of the country, like Kasese, and then the other remaining parts of the country. So the fire itself goes ahead to include fire, earthquake, flooding, hailstorm, malicious damage. This has really happened, and we've had people having their goods damaged by malicious people. Someone comes and burns it, or out of nowhere, we say, it was this. We've also have a fire including raids and strikes. Of late we've not had so many strikes, but we used to have strikes either from Makerere or any of the universities. So if your business is involved in such, and it's because of riots and strike, you'll still claim under fire policy. So the fire coverage can be for building, it can be for goods that you basically have. And when I talk about buildings, I mean schools. Yeah, we've heard of accidents for schools. What do they cover? They cover the building themselves, they cover the content that are within the buildings. So anything that is insurable within will be taken on under that. Yes.
I was just wondering, what if the fire goes to the neighbors? Well, how do you handle that?
Yeah, normally we look at, there's what we call a public liability. You must have had a public liability cover, because when we are insuring, we take up what we call the insurable items. So if you did not include the neighbors' items, of course that will really be hard, unless there is what we call an extension for third party. Yeah, so a third party, these are people that are outside the contract. So if there is a limit for the third party, would go in for that. But if someone had a public liability, and in this case they are involved in the cause of the fire, will automatically claim under that. So it can be taken on as long as at the time of insurance that was put into consideration.
Okay.
Yes.
What are some of the preventive measures that you would actually advise for policyholders to make sure that their coverage is still valid?
Valid.
Yes.
Yeah, one, like I said, you must make sure that your policy is fully paid, that is by paying premium, because the premium is paid once fully a year. So as long as you have a premium paid fully, then you are rest assured that in case of an accident, you'll be compensated without any excuse. However, we do what we call assessment, and we at times advise our clients depending on the risk. If it's a school, if it's a factory, we would advise that one, try as much as possible to have what we call fire extinguishers, because these are act as preventive measures. In case of an accident, something can be really rescued. Yeah, something like that. And also, we also make sure that in the process of our inspection, there's what we call housekeeping. We endeavor to see that electricals wiring is in good good condition, such that we prevent any such kind of accident. But the main one is to make sure that there are those things that can really help to reduce on the accident by having fire extinguishers, and also making sure that in this case, if it's a sensitive place that is under contentious, they must have security measures. You must have security guards that are really safeguard your area to prevent such kinds of accidents. Yes.
And how are premiums determined for special perils?
Fire and special perils, the premiums are not different from what I talked about for other covers. We also have what we call percentage rates, and the risk determines the rate. Yeah, and normally fires have fire policies and special perils have the lowest rates that are being charged, about 0.125, 0.2, 0.3 of the sum insured. Yeah, so the premiums are determined by the percentage. So like it is on the other covers, the higher or the bigger the sum insured, the bigger the premiums. So the lower the sum insured, the lower the premiums paid. So we just apply a rate on what is going to be insured, and then we determine the premium. And premium is basically paid once a year. So you pay it once, and then it is just renewable at the end of the policy. Yeah.
And everything that you've said basically also falls for the goods in transit.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, it is the same.
Yes. So you could actually just wind it all up and just give us an overview of what we have said in just a summary before we close up. I know it has been a lot, but yes, in your own words.
In my own words, first of all, I want to thank the public for supporting us as a statewide insurance company, as your #1 indigenous insurance company, and then making sure that you support us, because one of the reasons why we are here is basically to appreciate the support that we get from the public, from the people, and also to make sure that we keep on educating. Yeah, it's very good, and I want to thank the management of CCC TV, the Catholic TV, for such, because when such programs are put forward, they hope people to understand, because a lot is being learned. So educating them is a part of what we shall continue to do, and I want to confirm that we shall continue to come on this big network as we educate the public about insurance. But I only call on them. Our numbers are already there. My number is 0752 32 8759 or 0772 32 8759. You can as well get us statewide at our website. We have our Twitter handle, we have our LinkedIn, we are on Facebook, so we can you can get us from there for any kind of information, and you can as well call us to your organization to take you through or to try to educate you more about insurance before you really take on the cover. So I want to call on everyone, every public, to make sure that you appreciate insurance, because it's the way to go. It puts your business, your life at peace as long as you have an insurance cover. So I want to thank everyone and the management of the company.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Jogwe Ronald Muyingo there, who has been discussing and telling us details about insurance. Thank you. It has been really nice. And it has been nice having you as we discuss insurance. If you do not have an insurance policy, go to SWICO and seek information about all these different policies that they have. Believe me, you will never regret having an insurance policy. One way or the other, you'll be at peace, like he said. In case of any calamity or any accident, you are covered. It lifts a load off of you once some of these things happen. And general insurance is just the way to go, really, in this age and era. We all need an insurance policy, be it for yourself, for your business, or for any other thing that you may need. Just go, get information, and you decide. It has been nice having you. Until next time, I'll see you again. I am Nora Sende. Do have yourselves a lovely day ahead.